a mother who couldn't get her son up for church in the morning. She said, "Honey, get up. It's time for church." And he said, "I don't want to go to church." And she said, "Give me 2 good reasons why you don't want to go to church." And he said, "First of all, I don't like those people, and they don't like me." And she said, "Well, I'll give you 2 good reasons why you should go to church. First of all, you're 52 years old. And second of all, you're the minister." I want to tell you that my mother is here today, and she did not have to get me out of bed this morning. I love Sundays in this church. I love the music. I love the people. I love the feeling. I love it all. And you know why? It's because in this hour or so every week, I feel transported. This is special time. This is time outside of time. It's sacred time. And when we're in the midst of sacred time, things are different. I don't know about you, but there are times during my week when I get loaded down with life. When I turn on the news and I see the empty faces of another set of parents, wives, and children of the latest soldier who will not be returning to his hometown or family. When children with grief-stricken faces come into my office because their parents are getting a divorce and they can't understand what's going on, and I wish I had some magic words that would make things better. When yet another young mother with 2 children gets a terminal illness and everyone else gets numb. Or I read stories of the daily disasters of domestic violence in our community where people live in fear and terror in their own homes. When I visit Africa and I talk to parents who are explaining that they don't have enough food to feed all 4 of their children, so they're trying to rationalize not feeding the one child who's HIV positive. Or the widow here in the United States trying to decide between paying for medicine or paying rent. Often none of it makes sense, and it starts feeling deadening and demoralizing. And too much of the time I walk around so caught up in my own pity party for my petty problems that I end up forgetting the fierceness and the realness of this life. But then once a week, I get to put on these vestments and say a prayer with the worship team and then walk into this sanctuary where music fills every corner of the place, where we come together from many homes and disparate roads to arrive here where I know we will keep it real and tell it like it is, where our children come forward to listen to us or to sing for us. And for those brief moments, the world and my life begins to make a little more sense again. And my choices feel important. And most of all, my hope is renewed. So that when I leave, I'm ready to face another week of whatever comes. And I leave with a little more courage to live my values and to risk speaking my truth no matter the consequences. And to me, that's church. When the choirs came in this morning singing, "We are marching to Zion," that's what worship's about. It's a journey into a time outside of time, a realm where a large group of people sit in silence together, where we might hold hands with a stranger, where even those of us who don't sing, for better or for worse. In this time and place, the rules and the customs and the conversations are different from any other place we go. We're going to Zion, to the holy city, the kingdom of heaven, right here on earth. And the choir sings for us, "Come, we'll take you there." To a place where nobody has to feel excluded and everyone can feel welcome. Where the lamb can lie down with the lion, where the rich with the poor, the young with the old. Now, outside in the rest of our lives, we are divided by all kinds of walls. By fear, by racism, by homophobia, by politics and pieties. But in here, for 1 hour a week, we create the city of God, the family of humankind, Jerusalem, Zion, Mecca, Nirvana, the kingdom of heaven, by whatever name you call it. These are not meant to be geographical locations. They are meant, and they're certainly not meant to be something we're waiting for in the next life. They are symbols for the world we're meant to create right here, right now. So every week here, we create that holy place where the sacred can meet the human, where the infinite and the finite can mingle and dance, where the ephemeral and the eternal come together, and there is no difference big enough to separate or divide us. We do our best to create heaven right here on earth, at least for an hour, so we can get a taste of it. The ultimate goal is to create such a world out there, every day, everywhere. But that's the work of a lifetime, probably many lifetimes. So we come here to heal and to feel and to let go and to let down and to get lifted up, so that we can have the moxie to go back out into the world and keep building the Holy Land. It's a filling station for the mind and spirit, a garden in the wilderness, as Dr. Wolf has said. In other traditions, they say Sunday morning is a rehearsal for the world to come, and they're right. Except that the world to come is no by and by, pie in the sky, after you die kind of place. No, we joined this church to be a part of the world we hope to create, to be the change we want to see. We come to give the Spirit of love flesh. We come to be an incarnation of the world we know is possible if human beings can rise above what divides us and learn to celebrate our differences. A world where no child goes to bed hungry and every child has a chance to succeed. Where no one is shamed because of who they love or what they believe or don't believe. So yes, every time we come into this church, it's a rehearsal for the world to come. The world we hope will one day come. The world we are called to create. And to deepen our faith in its possibility. And that's what our 2021 vision says in no uncertain terms. It says All Souls Unitarian Church in Tulsa in 2021 is an embodiment and celebration of the world as we hope it will one day become. A climate of profound hospitality, love, and acceptance radiates from our campus and our members. Our sanctuary is bursting with people with a diversity of theologies, philosophies, ethnicities, cultures, colors, classes, and abilities, generations, sexual orientations, and political persuasions, all dwelling together in peace, seeking the truth in love, and helping one another. Now that's a church I want to be a part of. That's the Church of All Souls. Now for the next 3 weeks, the other ministers and the choirs and I will be lifting up different aspects of this Vision 2021 statement that we've been working on as a congregation now for many years. Which, mind you, is also the centennial anniversary of the Tulsa race riot, or race massacre, to be more specific. How meaningful it will be as Tulsans to be part of a community that leading up to the anniversary of Tulsa's most deadly and divisive day has a part of its vision to be a living antidote, a solution to that poisonous period of our past. If you're in the sanctuary, you have a copy of that new vision statement for 2021. Please take it home and read it. If you're listening on podcast or iTunes, or you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're worshiping with us live today with our live stream from our website, I'd invite you to go to the All Souls website, www.allsoulschurch.org, and read the vision statement, because on October 3rd, during the services, everyone, including our children, are going to be invited to come forward onto the chancel to sign the original version of the vision statement. And then we're going to frame it with all of our signatures on it, and we're going to hang it on the wall in a prominent place in this church as a reminder and a guide as we approach 2021 of who we are and where we're headed. And we're going to ask people, each person, to do more than just sign it. We're also going to ask you to make a commitment that day of time, talent, and treasure. Also a commitment towards personal and spiritual growth, because that's what it's going to take to make this vision a reality over the next decade. You'll be hearing more about this in the weeks leading up to October 3rd. Now, of course, there are people who say, you cannot create community with that much diversity. You cannot bring together that much difference, especially not in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a city with a history like ours. And when I hear that, I think of a sermon by Reverend Tony Campolo. He's a white guy, but he serves a black Baptist church. He says, every year they have a preach-off at my church. He says, that's not what we call it, of course. We say we're coming together to glorify God. But he says the preachers all know why they're there, to prove who's the best. He explained that in his church, you know when you're doing well, because even when you're not doing well, they let you know about it. Once he was halfway through a sermon and a woman started yelling, "Help him, Jesus! Help him, Jesus!" And he knew he wasn't doing well. And in the same vein, they let you know when you're hot. They say, "Preach it." And the women, they wave at you like this, and they say, "Well?" And when you're really hot, they say, "Keep going." And it reminds me a little bit of our 11:30 service these days when things get going, or when they don't. I think a few times now I've heard, "God help them," coming from these pews. But during one of these preach-offs, Tony Campolo said that the better he started preaching, the more the ladies started waving and the men started cheering, and the more they started waving and cheering, the better he started preaching. And Gerald and Tamara, you'll appreciate this. It was going so well, he said, I got going so good I wanted to take notes on me. And by the time he sat down, he thought that he had done exceedingly well. But the next speaker was a Dr. Wolf kind of preacher. The old lion tapped him on the knee and said, "Good job. Now let me show you how it's done." And he did, with one simple line. He said, "It's Friday, but Sunday's coming." This preacher knew something about expectation. He knew something about vision and what happens when a community of people know where they're heading. It's Friday, but Sunday's coming. It was Friday and darkness was in the land and darkness ruled the land. But that's because it's Friday. Sunday's coming. On Friday, people are saying, as things have been, so they shall be. You can't change nothing in this world. But they didn't know it was only Friday. Sunday's coming. Friday, people are saying, you can't lift the darkness. You can't bring in the light. You can't bring people together and have them feel like one big family. That's because it's only Friday. But Sunday's coming. Yes, Sunday's coming. Now, on Friday, darkness may seem to rule the land. On Friday, family values may be a slogan used to divide the human family by placing some families over others. But when Sunday comes, family values is going to mean we're all family and everyone is valued. And we know it's Friday, but Sunday's coming. The old preacher just ended the sermon by yelling, "Friday!" And with one big voice, the people all said, "Sunday!" Because of you, because of this place, because of what Dr. Wolf has done for us, even though we may still live in a Friday world, we have hope and a vision that Sunday's coming. Welcome home. I love you.